Hi, my name is Lynn Clow, and for my practicum experience, I did on-campus research at the Cole Student Activities Building, and the research was on the N300 effect using event-related potentials. My role in this lab was a junior research assistant. So according to prior studies, semantic priming effects modulate neural activity that manifests as event-related potential data as a frontal N300, and it has its source in the posterior cingulate in the region affected most by Alzheimer's disease. And the hypothesis from this lab was that it might serve as a possible biomarker for some of the cognitive effects of Alzheimer's, and it could potentially help with the diagnosis and screening process. The primary goal was to confirm that lexical decision under controlled conditions would produce this robust N300 effect. We conducted two main tasks in regards to the prime target pairs of associative, categorical, or similar relationship with trials of short lexical decision and long lexical decision. So some of the challenges that we faced in this lab is that the EEG cap and sensors that we were working with were extremely sensitive. And so when it's recording electrical signals, it can pick up on mains noise, which can be picked up from things such as blinking too much or frowning or chewing, because the sensors are connected directly to the person's face, as well as it can pick up on faint electrical signals that could be coming from power outlets. And we do a lot of, we apply data corrections post-collection to eliminate some of this mains noise and get more clear results. So some of the things that I learned from this lab, I think I learned both practical skills and topics in cognitive science. So for practical skills, I learned how to populate an EEG cap, as well as to take proper measurements to have a cap fitted and collect data from EEG sensors. I learned how to process and analyze this data in MATLAB using a software called the EP Toolkit, which was developed by the research director of this lab, Joseph Dean. And I also got the opportunity to hone my research and scientific writing skills by writing a paper on about a study that I found interesting that used event-related potential data. And this tied into a lot of the cognitive science topics that I had learned in this past semester. My research director gave a lot of different lectures so that way we could have a deeper understanding of not just the research he was conducting, but just cognitive science as a field in general. So I learned a lot about event-related potentials and EEG data. I learned about medical imaging equipment and why we were specifically using EEG sensors instead of other brain imaging tools. And the main reason why we are using EEG is because we are trying to see the timing of brain activity, and that's the most important aspect of this study. So EEG is able to pick up on activity down to the millisecond, so it was most effective for this study. And another area in cognitive science that he gave lectures on were the causes and effects of Alzheimer's disease, and it had to do with why this could possibly serve as a biomarker. Overall, I did really enjoy this research experience. I got the opportunity to learn how to do 3D rendering in MATLAB to see our data as it would have manifested on the person if we could see it. And I also got to learn how to do difference wave graphs for the different conditions. So on the poster, I compare two different conditions, either short or long, and related and unrelated. And the green line represents the difference in the voltages across both of those conditions. And the 3D rendering is to show where the positive and negative voltages occurred on the head. And you can see for the N300 and N400 effect that they have a complementary voltage. And then the last picture is just a picture of what the EEG cap and sensors look like. Although it doesn't show it in the photo, the sensors also do connect on the person's face under their eyes, and that helps us get very accurate data. Overall, I did really enjoy this experience. Thank you. Hi, my name is Lynn Clow, and for my